How much impact have you had on the oral arguments?
On oral arguments?
I mean, they're not what they were years ago.
No, they're not what they were. When I first came on the court, very few questions were asked. I argued before the court once before I became a judge, and I got only 2 questions. I think it was 2, maybe 3, from all of them from Byron White in the whole time I argued. Nowadays, wow, the whole process consists of responding to questions from the court. I think the latter is better.
Did you start it?
I was the first one who started asking a lot of questions, I guess. And that was probably my law school background, my law professor background. And then when other former law professors came on the court, they continued the same. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, of course, another former law professor. Stephen Breyer, another former law professor.
Here is an oral argument. We have it on audio from 1999. You're asking the questions. The other voice you hear is, see if you recognize it, is someone who is making a presentation before the court.
Unless it is itself a recipient of federal financial assistance, it's not covered by Title IX. Now,
I don't quite see how the university gets stuck here. As far as the university is concerned, it, pursuant to the rules, has denied a waiver in circumstances where denial would be perfectly appropriate. As far as what the university has done, the university hasn't discriminated at all.
Well, if the university is...
The only thing that makes the waiver, the denial of the waiver, bad is that this other organization has granted waivers in other universities in other contexts. How do you pin this on the university?
Because the university is the entity that is operating a covered program or activity.
Recognize that voice?
Don't recognize it, no.
He was before the court, something like 30 times before he
became Roberts,
Chief Justice.
Yeah.
How often is that? You said you were one time before the court, before you sat on the court.
Right.
And I noticed that, was Paul Clement one of your...
He was a former law clerk, right.
So he steps up in the healthcare case.
That's right. A lot of other cases. You know, he's a former Solicitor General, and former Solicitors General are part of the what you might call the Supreme Court bar, the regularly appearing Supreme Court bar.
As you know, after the healthcare case, and Chief Justice Roberts' position on it, a lot of copy written about the personal antagonism between members of the court. I know you answered this the other night, but if you would talk a little more about your perception. First of all, was there a leak that came out of the court on that story?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't talk about it.
You did, though. What? You said you and the Justice, Chief Justice.
I responded to a very precise question of whether, they were slamming doors and whatnot, and that's absolute nonsense.
But are there personal feelings behind the scenes on all this stuff?
I don't want to talk about it.
Are there? Let me do this. The question you were talking about, the answer you were talking about earlier about what you write in your opinions. Has there ever been in your past, when you make some strong statements, personal, fallout from that?
No, I've criticized the opinions of some of my colleagues, and we have remained friends. Just as they have criticized my opinions, and we have remained friends. Look, this is a kind of a job if you can't even disagree vehemently on the law without taking it personally and without, hating the person who's on the other side, you ought to find another job. That's it.
Done.